Hi, what's up guys and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a tutorial on this eye look right here, which I am freaking obsessed with. It has been a while since I played with color and I really was inspired by the BH Desert Oasis palette. I ordered this immediately after I saw it for the first time because I fell in love and I decided to film a tutorial with it. So today's tutorial is a mixture of a regular tutorial and also some first impressions that I threw in there. Not everything is like new to me, but some of these products are. So I thought I would film a plain old get ready with me, try out some new makeup and have fun together. So that is what today's video is going to be all about. But if you are new here, then I would love it if you would subscribe. The button is right down below. And if you don't want to miss out on any of my videos, then you can hit that notification bell next to it. That way you will get notified for any future uploads of mine. If you love makeup as much as I do, then definitely give this video a thumbs up. And let's go ahead and get on into this tutorial. Okay, so I'm starting off this video with a bare face. As you can see, I'm all fresh and hydrated. And before I'm applying any makeup, I wanted to try out the Badescu facial spray with aloe, herbs, and rosewater. If you saw my US beauty haul, you know that I picked this up at Ulta and I haven't tried it out yet. So this is like a skincare product that you can use as like a toner, but you can also use it to set your makeup and also prime for your makeup. So I'm going to use this before applying any makeup. So I'm just going to spray a little bit on my face. So I'm going to let that dry for a little bit, but that feels really refreshing on the skin. It smells really good. It smells like roses. And the spray is also like really fine, so I really like it so far. I'm just going to have to let that sink into my skin. So then moving on to primer. It has been such a hot minute since I used the Ordinary High-Spreadability Fluid Primer. So I thought I would use it again today because honestly I really forgot how I felt about it. I remember liking it, but I really don't remember what it does on the skin. So I'm just going to apply a little bit, like so, and then I'm going to start working that into my skin. If I can remember correctly, this like makes your makeup really stick to it. Like it has a really nice tacky finish from what I remember. Alright, so that definitely added a little bit of hydration to my skin. My skin feels like very smooth. My pores are also a little bit filled in, so that is good. Yeah, I still freaking love that primer. So then for foundation, I'm going to use a mixture of two. So I'm going to apply my Colourpop No Filter Stix, which is in the shade Light 50 Warm. Then I'm also going to mix in a little bit of my Primark My Perfect Color Moisturizing Foundation Stick, and this is in the shade Nude Beige. So the reason I mix these is because the Colourpop one is very dark and also a little bit on the dry side, and the Primark one is a little bit lighter and is more like dewy and has more of a creamy finish. So together they work perfectly fine. So I'm going to start off with the Colourpop one. So I'm just going to draw on a few lines on my face, and then this one I'm going to blend out using a brush. And then for the Primark one, I like using my beauty blender, and the brush I'm using is the Sigma F80 Flat Kabuki. So as you guys can see, it's a little bit too dark for me right now, but when I mix in the Primark one, I get my perfect shade. So I'm just blending it out using the brush. And this one by Colourpop, again, as I mentioned, is so dry. Like, it's not really my favorite, but I wanted to give it another shot. But yeah, it really is not my favorite. Alright, so now I'm going to go over that using the Primark foundation stick. And again, drawing on a few lines. If I had to pick only one, I would definitely recommend the Primark one over the Colourpop one because it is just way better. So taking my beauty blender, I'm going to start working that into my skin. The Colourpop one doesn't work with a beauty blender, again, because it is so dry. But this one works perfectly fine with a beauty blender. It is so creamy and so easy to blend. I love it. Like, as you guys can see, together it is my perfect shade, and that way I can still use up the Colourpop one because otherwise on its own I would never use it. Alright, so now that we have blended in the foundation, I'm going to fill in my eyebrows first because I do want to play around with some blues on my eyes and I don't want any blue fallout on my skin. So that is why we're going to do the eyes first. So I will fill in my eyebrows and be right back. Okay, so my eyebrows are filled in. I use my Colourpop brow color in Taupe, what else? And also also the brow wash gel by Colourpop to set them in place. So those are my brows. And now it's time to move on to eyeshadow. But first I'm going to prime using the Catrice Eye Foundation Waterproof Eyeshadow Primer Matte. So this is what I'm going to use to prime my eyelids. So I'm just applying some directly on my eyelids, and then I'm going to blend it out using a damp beauty blender. Alright, eyes are nice and primed, and then it's time for eyeshadow. I recently placed an order on Beauty Bay because I wanted this palette, and this is the BH Cosmetics Desert Oasis eyeshadow and highlight palette. When I saw this palette for the first time, I fell in love. These shades looked absolutely beautiful, so I decided to pick it up. I got it at Beauty Bay and it was only 19 euros. But wait until you guys will see what it looks like on the inside. So this is the packaging right here. It is a beautiful rose gold metallic, and then this is what it looks like. Oh my god. So you do get a mirror right here, and then these are the shades that come in the palette. I hope like it doesn't blind you, but these shades are freaking gorgeous. So I want to do something a little bit different and work with blues, which has been such a long time. But before doing that, I'm going to pick up the shade Sand and use that to set my eyeshadow primer. I always set my eyeshadow primer in place using a bone color because I have very oily eyelids, and if I don't do this step, then by the end of the day my eyeshadow is bound to crease. Like, it's going to look crazy. So that is why I always set my eyeshadow primer in place. I know a lot of people don't do it, but you do you, boo. You do whatever works for you. This is just what works for me. Alright, that was beautiful, and it did a great job of setting my eyeshadow primer. So then for my transition shade, I'm going to pick up Canyon, which is this shade right here. And which brush do I want to use? I really need to clean my brushes. They're all really dirty. I'm going to use my Sigma Taper Blending E40. I'm going to clean it off on my hand and apply the shade Canyon. So I'm going to focus this shade in my upper crease, so build it up towards my brow bone a little bit. That way it will still be noticeable once we add in the blues. So first I'm packing it on in my crease, and then when my brush has a little bit less product on it, I blend it up upwards a little bit. And this shade is beautiful. Like, it's the first time I'm using this palette, and so far these are blending like a dream. And this shade is a beautiful like neutral brown shade. Ah, the perfect transition shade. So I'm just building that up and blending it out until it looks as intense as I want it to look. There is a little bit of powder kick up in the pan. I don't know if you guys can see that, but really it's not that bad. And again, if the shadows perform well and they blend well and they're pigmented, then I freaking don't care about powder kick up in the pan. I am just mentioning it because I know some people do mind that. Also, I'm not being like too precise around the edge right here because we still have to do concealer and stuff, and I can always use some concealer to clean everything up. Also, I am thinking about zooming you guys in more when I do my eyes, so I'm going to do that right now. Is that close enough? Like, that is really close. Alright, and then I'm going to take a clean blending brush, if I can find one, and start blending out the edges a little bit so that it doesn't look too harsh. Picking up the shade Dune, which is this one right here, I'm going to use that to darken up my crease just a little bit and add a little bit of warmth. So I'm going to pack that on a little bit below my transition shade, but still focus it in my crease. So I'm just rocking it back and forth in my crease until it looks as intense as I want it to look. Again, same step as we did before. And then to darken up my outer corners, I'm going to pick up Nightscape, which is this shade right here. So it's a pretty dark shade. So I'm going to use a very precise blending brush to apply that. And this one I will focus on my outer corners. Wow, that is pigmented. Woo, I did not expect that. So I'm going to pack it on, and then once I packed it on, I'm going to start blending it inwards a little bit. But I do want to keep it quite low. And I'm taking my previous blending brush and I'm going to use that to start working that in and blending it out. And then taking a little bit of Dune again and adding some in my crease. Alright, so before going in with the blue, I am going to cut my crease using my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer because this is a really good concealer to carve out my eyelids. And then once I carved it out like this, I'm going to add Sand, which is the color we use to set our eyeshadow primer in place, and I'm going to set the concealer using that. Okay, so now that we have cut the crease, the first shade I'm going in with is Hot Springs, which is this one right here, which looks so freaking beautiful. Look at that. Woo! That is stunning. So I'm going to use this shade just dry, without any setting spray, without any glitter glue. I'm just going to see how it performs basically. So I hope I'm using the right brush for this. This is the Zoeva 234 Luxe Smoky Shader. So I'm just going to pick up a little bit of the blue. And what I'm going to do is apply this on the center. And I want to leave the inner corners bare because I want to put another shade there. So I'm just really focusing this right here in the center of my eyelids. I do have some fallout with this shade, so luckily we didn't do our face makeup yet. And then I'm going to connect it to the outer corners by wiggling my brush. And now I'm just packing it on until it looks as intense as I want it to look. I'm also going to apply a little bit with my finger and see if that intensifies it. That definitely did. Wow, that is gorgeous. Again, I do have a lot of fallout, so definitely keep that in mind. It has been such a hot minute since I played around with blues and I freaking love it. This palette so far, I love it. The quality is amazing, especially for the price point. And don't forget, we also have highlighters to play with for that price. So yeah, I am pretty impressed so far. So now what I'm doing is cleaning off my brush, because for my inner corners I want to go in with turquoise, which is this shade right here. So I'm going to use the same brush, just like clean it off a little bit and use the other side. But this shade looks beautiful as well. So I'm going to apply that on the inner corners where we left a blank space. Oh, that is beautiful. Woo, that is gorgeous. I'm also going to wrap my brush a little bit using the Mario Badescu spray and apply that shade wet and see if that makes a difference. Yeah, it is definitely more metallic that way. I don't know if you guys can see a difference, but I definitely can. Now I'm going to pick up Cactus, which is this one right here, and I'm going to use that to connect my outer corners, like the blue with the like dark brown shade that we applied. So I'm just going to pick that up on the same like more precise brush and just really use that to connect these shades right there. And then I'm also going back in with a little bit of the blue, because we lost a little bit of that intensity. And then again repeating the steps until everything looks the way I want it to look basically. Those shades are beautiful. So now I'm going to pick up the shade Dune again, which is the one we applied in our crease. And I'm going to pack that on using a more precise brush, and apply that right where we cut the crease meets the crease basically, to intensify that just a little bit. That way it looks even more cut. Alright, again we have a lot of fallout, but to highlight my brow bone I'm going to use Mineral, which is this one right here. And I'm going to pick that up on my Zoeva Petit fan brush. Oh my god, I cannot speak in this video. What is wrong with me? Ooh, that is more intense than I thought it would be. Wow. It is beautiful though, but wow, that is more intense than I thought. That would also be a really pretty like lid shade. I might use that to highlight my inner corners later on. Alright, I zoomed you guys back out again because I'm going to finish off my face before finishing off my lower lash line and stuff. So from Beauty Bay I also picked up a new concealer, and this is the Jouer Essentiel High Coverage Liquid Concealer with Hyaluronic Acid. I picked up the shade Wheat, and I picked this up because I think it was Kathleen Lights that was raving about this, so I had to see it for myself. I had to try it out. So I picked it up. I think it was like 18 euros or something like that. So it is high-end, but it is still like pretty affordable. So this is what the packaging looks like. I have not tried it yet, so I'm really excited to try it out. And then this is the one right here, which is a little bit bigger than your standard like concealer brush, but I'm going to apply it underneath my eyes and see what it's all about. That shade is a little bit dark for me. I could have gone a shade lighter, but we will make it work. And then I'm also going to apply some on my chin and down the bridge of my nose. And then I'm going to take my beauty blender and start blending that in. Okay, so right off the bat I can say that it is very like dewy, and it blends like really easily. but I don't think it has like a really full coverage. I think we will have to build it up a little bit. I'm also going to use that to clean up the edges of my eyeshadow. Once I work it into my skin, the color is fine. It's not like too dark. And also I'm not really into those really like bright under eyes anymore. So actually it works perfectly fine. So far it looks really good on my skin. I'm going to apply a second coat because like I need a little bit more coverage than that. And we will see if it is buildable or not. Okay, so now I'm going to blend that into my skin again and see if we can build it up. Okay, so actually so far I do really like how the concealer is looking, but I'm going to set it now using my Colourpop No Filter setting powder. This is in translucent, so I'm going to use that to set underneath my eyes. This is what that looks like. I'm taking the smallest amount of powder. I'm going to make sure that there are no creases before setting, and again doing the same on the other eye. Alright, that is looking pretty good. Like I have a lot of fine lines underneath my eyes, so it is like settling into them a little bit, but all of my concealers do that, so that is no biggie. I am used to it by now. So now I'm going to set the rest of my face using my Catrice Prime and Fine Luminizing powder. This is a waterproof one, and I'm going to apply that all over my face. Okay, so now actually what I'm going to do is finish off my eyes before finishing off my face. So I'm going back into the Desert Oasis palette, and I'm going to use Sandstone, which is this shade right here. So this shade is a beautiful like coral shade, and I'm going to smudge that close to my waterline because I think that coral would look really good with these eyes, with these like blue toned eyes. So I'm going to use that shade and smoke it out, which is so easy to do, by the way. Like these shades, these eyeshadows, they're a dream to work with. And then to highlight my inner corners, I'm going back in with Mineral, which was that crazy intense shade, and I'm going to pack it on my inner corners. Do you guys see that? That is freaking beautiful. So intense, like without wetting it, it looks metallic. So now what I'm going to do is add the Essence Long Lasting Eye Pencil and Say Highlight in my waterline, apply some mascara, and then we will move on to the rest of the face. Alright, eyes are done, mascara is on. I'm freaking obsessed with how these eyes turned out. I love it so much. So now we are going to finish off my face. For contour, I'm going to use my Catrice Shape in a Box contouring palette. What else? I have been using this non-stop the past like months. So I'm going to grab the contour shade, apply a little bit on my cheeks to chisel out my chubby cheeks. And I'm also using that to contour my nose just a little bit and underneath my lips. And then for bronzer, I'm going to use my Too Faced Sun Bunny bronzer. And I'm going to use that to warm up my skin and also blend out the contour that we just applied. Finally, some color back into our skin. I was looking a little bit pale there for a moment, but I'm back. I'm alive. Alright, so since I was a little bit sloppy with my bronzer, which I always am, I'm going to use the same Catrice palette and pick up this shade to clean up underneath the contour and the bronzer. And I always blow on it a little bit to make sure that the contour didn't transfer into the highlighting shade, because that would be pointless and stupid. Alright, we're looking good. Moving on to blush. I'm going to use my Physicians Formula Butter Blush in the shade Nude Silk, which looks like this. This is such a beautiful blush, so I'm going to apply that. It smells really good as well. The entire like butter collection by Physicians Formula is so good. You guys already know that I am obsessed with it. I'm just applying a little bit of this blush. And if ever you feel like you applied too much blush, like me almost all the time, just take your powder brush and blend it in a little bit using that, and that way it looks more natural. Natural, we all know what that means in my book. Alright, like so. And then for highlight, I'm going back into the Desert Oasis palette, and I think I'm going to use, I think I'm going to use Serenity, which is this shade right here, and use that as my highlight. I am so excited to see what this will look like. Yeah, that is beautiful. Okay, I am obsessed with this palette. It's official. This is one of the best palettes that I have tried in a very long time, like especially affordable palettes. Keeping Colourpop out, of course, but wow, 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 wow. I just could not get enough. Do you guys see that glow? That is pretty. Like, that is beautiful. And again, if you think that you over applied your highlight, which, let's be honest, there's no such thing, just take your blush brush. Just take your blush brush and just go over it a little bit. That way it will blend into the blush a little bit easier and be less streaky. This is gorgeous. Obsessed with this palette. Freaking obsessed. Alright, so now that we have finished off the face, all that is left to do is lips. So I have the Kylie Lip Kit in Dirty Peach right here, which I thought would look really pretty with these blue eyes. This could look really bad, but I want to try it at least. I have never tried this color by her before. I have two of her lip kits, but it's the first time I'm using this shade. So this is what they look like right here. So I'm going to use both the lip liner and the liquid lipstick. Alright, so starting off with the lip liner, I'm going to line my lips and then fill in my lips using the liquid lipstick. And the reason I thought this would look beautiful with the eyes is because we have the coral underneath the eyes, and I think blue and coral looks really pretty together. So let's hope this will turn out to look really good as well. Alright, so now that I have applied the lip liner, let's go in with the liquid lipstick. Okay, at first I had to get used to the lips with the eyes, but actually I think it looks really good. I don't know, I can't decide. Do I like it? Do I don't like it? I think I like it. And the formula is the exact same as her other liquid lipsticks, so if you like those, then you will absolutely love this shade too. They are a little bit drying, but they are super long lasting and they smell amazing. Alright, so all that I have left to do is set my face. So again, I'm going to use the Mario Badescu spray. And we're all done. Alright guys, so this is the finished makeup look. I had to get used to it at first, but I actually really like it. I think I really like it. Yeah, I love the combination of the eyes with the lips. I think it looks stunning. I love blue mixed with corals and oranges, so I think it looks really pretty together. As for the first impressions, the spray is really good. It is multifunctional. You can use it as skincare, as a makeup prep, as a makeup setting spray, everything. It smells amazing. It feels really good on the skin. The concealer, so far I really like it. I will have to see how it wears throughout the day, but so far I really like how my under eyes look like, so this definitely gets a thumbs up from me. The liquid lipstick, again, if you're used to Kylie liquid lipsticks, you will love this one too. I love the color. It is just a little bit drying. And then the eyeshadow palette, oh my god, if you can get your hands on this, get it. This is so pretty, and I can't believe this is only 19 euros. Like, this could be a high-end palette. It is so gorgeous. The packaging is beautiful. The shades are beautiful. They blended like a dream. They're super pigmented. Like, there is nothing bad I can say about this palette. It feels super sturdy as well. I love it. I just cannot recommend it enough. You need to get it. So yeah, that actually wraps up this video. I had so much fun filming this video. I hope you guys loved seeing it. And if there is anything you want me to try out or do a tutorial with, then definitely comment that down below in the comments and I will do that for you. But yeah, that is it from me. Thank you guys so much for taking time out of your busy days to watch my videos. I appreciate it so much and I love you so much. And I will see you guys in the next video. Mwah. Bye.
Say that it feels right.